guys, welcome back to the Simi Bob channel. And today we finally get to do the overview of my Sims 2 Pleasantview. Okay, so let's get into it. Right now we are in Academy Latour and we are here with Ruby Newsom. She is currently by herself. She is the only one in her age group that was a knowledge or fortune sim. So she is here by herself currently. But there was a full house before she moved in. She actually made quite a few friends with a couple of these people. But, anyways, yes, let's actually talk about Ruby and see what she's been up to, shall we? So, Ruby, when was the last time you seen Ruby? I'm assuming you saw her when she was a child or a teenager. She had those pigtails. She looked really cute as a teenager. I don't know if that's when y'all last seen her, but I'm gonna start from when that area all the way up till now. So she did learn a few things while she was a teenager because she's a knowledge sim. So of course she's going to want to learn things. She learned about sociology. She learned about anger management. And let's see, yeah. And in the result of that, she actually maxed out her body skill point. So she is already has a max body skill point because of this. Apparently she tried to kiss Alan Shack for the first time and was rejected. I am assuming this guy was an ACR thing. That's what I'm assuming. But I'm not entirely sure. But she really just wanted her first kiss, and this guy just said no, and he didn't want to kiss her. So that's okay. I mean, she tried as a teenager. She tried. But as you can quite possibly tell, all her family members grew up because the Newsom clan is a huge family, and she actually ended up getting a job in the law enforcement career as a teenager because she really wanted to get the job. She actually had the want to. So I let her get it, and she's been getting promotions. She actually finally got into private school. I think one of her little siblings wanted to get into private school. So we invited the headmaster, and she was a part of that. So she was able to join private school. And that's when she maxed her body skill point, and she became an overachiever and reached the top of the law enforcement career in her youth. And yeah, her main goal in life is to become a city planner, it looks like. So, yeah, a bunch of her cousins graduated college here, as you can tell. And so there's all that. And her little brother Flint was actually an overachiever as well. And then she finally moved out and went to college herself. So while she was in college her freshman year, this was like a full house. So we had like maybe 5 Sims in this household at the same time. But yeah, so she actually met a guy named Chuck. And I'm going to start doing this thing because I have so many Sims and I cannot stop myself from pairing Sims up and having romance because that's just the funnest part about it is messing with genetics and having new Sims get with new Sims. So what I plan on doing for now on to help myself so I don't have an abundance of Sims because I really do have that right now is if they have 2 bolts or more, they are meant to be. I will go ahead and let them be together. I will try to pursue what they want with them and things like that. But if they don't have 2 or more bolts with them, I'm not even going to bother trying to put them 2 together. They're just going to be a fling, if you will. So that's what I'm going to try to accomplish. And same for my romance Sims because romance Sims aren't supposed to get married anyway. However, I have been putting my romance Sims together with other Sims because they like each other. And yeah, so I'm probably will start making my romance Sims be infertile so they can't have babies until I want them to have a baby or unless they got married to someone who wants to have babies. So if they're single, I'm going to make my women not be able to have babies, I think. It really depends on how I feel, but I feel like I have an overabundance of Sims, and that's just an idea that I have for now. But yeah, so she's in college. She now has a boyfriend. She's very happy in her college life, and she's currently in her junior year, getting ready to complete this complete this semester, and hopefully new Sims will move in at the end of next rotation so that she can have somebody in this house when she graduates so she won't be alone. But I don't think she will be alone because her boyfriend Chuck is nearby. I think, yeah, his room is over here. So he's in the same dorm as Ruby. So I think that's really, really sweet. I think her and Chuck are about to fall in love, it looks like. They met each other. When did they meet each other? They actually met each other her freshman year, and kissed each other and things like that. So they have been dating for about 2 years now. So yeah, it's really, yeah, she's about to be like 100% in love with him, thinking that he's going to be the one for her. So hopefully this guy's a good guy and not another romance sim that my sims find in college, for heaven's sakes. But anyways, so this is Academy Latour. Now let's move on to the next one. All right, welcome to La Fiesta Tech, where we have Cornelia Newson, Freya Broke, Gabrielle London, Gregory Gavigan, and Liviana Goth. So here we are in La Fiesta Tech. So let's see. Let's start from the top and go all the way down to the bottom here. So, what we have a Carnelian first. So, a Carnelian, let's see. What do we know about him? So, maybe you do or don't know. I had him fall in love with Sylvia. I thought that he and Sylvia would be cute together, because they're both romance sims. However, since they are both romance sims, I think it was just a fling between them two. And I don't think they're going to be together anymore because she is a little younger than Cornelian. I believe she is going to be a freshman. So she will probably be in this dorm with him at the end of the next rotation. So yeah, this is going to be a little messy. But anyways, I will tell you why in a few momentos. But anyways, so he was with Sylvia when he was a kid. He had his first woohoo with Sylvia, which happened to be a public woohoo, so it wasn't even private. They just got freaky out in public. And then he fell in love with Charlotte, kissed, made out with Charlotte. So he had more than one girl in his youth, and then woohooed Sylvia again. So yeah, he got into private school. All his cousins are graduating college and becoming overachievers. And then he went to college. And this is the part where I. Okay, so every time I play in La Fiesta Tech and I have a bunch of romance sims, and if they are attracted to each other, it is like a menage a trois situation. Like everybody goes after everybody. Everybody wants to date everybody. Everybody wants to woohoo with everybody. So it's kind of like a hard thing to go through and see. All my sims do that, but since they are romance sims, I mostly allow it to happen unless one of my sims is already committed to another, and then I feel disheartened when something like that happens. But anyway, so as soon as he went to college, he saw Liviana, thought she was beautiful, made out with her, kissed her for the first time. So their first kiss was a makeout sesh. That's how in tuned they liked each other with. It was like heat. Like heat. You know what I'm saying? It's like dang. So and then of course they woohooed with each other. So he completed his freshman year, and then he won a fight with Hazel. Now, this story is pretty much shocking, to say the least, because I didn't anticipate this at all. So I have a new mod where they drink from the bar. Certain things could happen, and I think this is what that came from, because he and Hazel are pretty much friends. I'm pretty sure, like really close. Yeah, they were close. Like they don't like each other. They like each other. So I was like, why are you fighting her? But I think it's because he might have got drunk at the bar and then just fought her because of that mod. So, anyways, yeah, that was crazy. He fought her on her graduation party, and I was like, what is going on? But anyway, yeah. And then he actually fell in love with Liviana as well, and we had a dream date with her. So he's been actually dating Liviana in college, as you can quite possibly tell. He's been dating her, and yeah, so that's crazy. Uh, I think them two really like each other, like really, really like each other. But anyways, let's go to Freya Broke. Now, if you do or do not know, Freya was actually dating Gage London in high school. And as you can quite possibly tell, she wants to invite Gage over. She wants to give him a back rub. Excuse me. And she wants to do all these things with Gage because her and Gage were actually dating, I think. Yeah, they were actually dating in high school. So, but yeah, he is her very first kiss, her very first woohoo. I believe he is the only guy Freya has ever been with. And yeah, she just thought he was super cute and wanted to actually date him. And yeah, but even so, even when that actually happened, yeah, she did kiss Christian Newson. Now, I think this is another ACR attempt to drive me bonkers because Christian is actually taken. Um, but I don't know if this was before or after Christian started dating someone else. I'm not exactly sure about that, but she actually kissed someone else, so I'm like, okay, that makes sense. She's a romance sim. Of course, she's gonna go out and kiss anybody with lips. So, so anyway, yeah, she moved out, went to college, and she hasn't had another romance since. So, yeah, Gage is pretty much it for her. However, they only have one bolt. So I figured, like, if anybody else had a bigger bolt, with Gage, then that girl could possibly, take Gage from her, and consequently, that happened. She only has one bolt with him. She likes him. He's the only like romance she's ever known. But I think she can find someone like hotter. Like she has a crush on George and Casper, but Casper is unavailable and George is definitely unavailable. But she also thinks Sebastian Phillips is cute, but he's also unavailable as well. He's already taken. Anyway, but yeah, I'm wanting her to maybe just be the type of girl that just dates around. But also with my romance sims, I kind of want to take an account of what their lifetime want is. If they want to have like 20 simultaneous loves or 20 woohoos or something like that, I know for a fact that sim is probably not going to want to get married. They're probably going to want to woohoo everybody and things like that. But if my romance sims has a something like this, then I can see this sim getting married. Now, the only thing that I would say that would caveat that is that if I actually have a want of them to want and get engaged, then they will trump what my idea is, if that makes sense. But, anyways, yeah, Freya's here having crushes on guys and really just the only guy she's ever been with is Gage. And that says a lot about her, considering she is a romance sim. But anyways, the next sim we have is a Gabrielle London. It looks like she wants to have two loves at once. And she wants to become a professional party guest. So let's actually see what she's been doing with her life here. So Gabrielle London is the fifth child of the London group. Oh my goodness. Second to the youngest. It looks like her very first kiss was with Tony Audimus, and that's a crazy story because You may or may not know her cousin is actually dating Tony Artemis. Well, actually, at this point in time, she wasn't dating him just yet, but they were getting there, if that makes sense. They were about to try to date exclusively. But, anyways, Gabrielle, being the romance sim that she is, inserted herself into that situation and kissed Tony when I already had him paired with her cousin. So, yeah, that was crazy. Very crazy. Excuse me is first thought I had. Like, what are you doing? But that makes sense because she's a romance sim. She really wanted to have her first kiss, and having it with Tony ain't a big deal. He wasn't exclusively with her yet. But anyways, yeah, she also got into private school, and all her siblings and cousins grew up. She actually reached the top of the slacker career as a teenager, so she became an overachiever. And it looks like she done that twice, so it looks like she might have got demoted one time. But yeah, she worked hard and did that. Yes, and then she got into a fight with a girl named Melody Tinker at the teen hangout spot that I built. I plan on taking you guys to that hangout once I play with teenagers again. But just be patient with that. We will go there shortly. She actually got into a fight with Melody. Melody has a chip on her shoulder. She's mean to everybody, is what I noticed. She fought more than one person that night. So I was like, what is going on? But, anyways, yeah, she became enemies with this girl named Melody. They'll never see each other again. She's like, I can't believe that girl is you know what? You know what I'm saying? But anyways, yeah. So she learned about lifelong happiness, so that's really nice. And then she moved out and went to college herself. So yeah. So now she's in college and her family is growing up and doing things. And she actually learned a local greeting while she was in college, which is pretty interesting. She's happy about her siblings becoming graduating, and then she fell in love with Tony somehow, and I'm not sure how that happened. But yeah, right now she's completely in love with Tony. He's got like two bolts there, but she's not really wanting to commit. As you can quite possibly tell, she wants two loves at once. So she's like, okay, now that I got Tony, she actually has her mind set on the Professor Alan Pye. And oh, three bolts with Derek. I mean, that could be a story. But anyways, she's got two bolts with the professor here, so maybe she and the professor can get along and help her with her grade here. But yeah, if you did not know about The Sims 2, if you become friends with your professors, your grade will actually go up. So I think it's quite hilarious that you could actually do that in The Sims. That you could like woohoo with your professor and they will give you a good grade, depending. And I believe she has a 3.5 right now. So she's doing exceptionally well in college, despite her being a romance sim. So, yeah, that's crazy. Anyways, next person we got is Gregory Gavigan. And let's see what his thing is about, shall we? So, Gregory Gavigan, let's see. So, his parents is Ezekiel and his mom Cheryl. So, I think that's, or Katerina, I'm sorry, excuse me. Her name is Katerina. And yeah, before he went to college, he actually went on a mountain vacation with his family. So he actually got to go on a mountain vacation. So stay tuned for all the pictures in the other video. But anyways, yeah, he learned psychology. Um, he maxed out his body skill because of that, and then had his very first kiss with Tori Artemis. Now, what you may or may know, he and Tori are boyfriend girlfriend, so they started dating. He snuck out with her, fell in love with her, made out with her, had a dream date, and went steady with Tori Artemis. So that is his girl, and he's happy about that. He had his very first woohoo with her, and then he made enemies with a girl named Tammy. Now, Tammy is another townie that actually is mean to my Sims for some reason. But yeah, he made enemies with Tammy. He's like, I don't know who you think you are, he said. But then he swam in the ocean and actually went on an island vacation as well before he came. So that happened, and yeah. So here's the thing though. He actually made out with Rebecca, fell in love, and did a woohoo with Rebecca as well while dating Tori. So I don't remember this, but I know Rebecca is a romance sim. So she isn't the type to commit to just one person, and I don't exactly remember what this consequence is. I don't remember how or why or when, but this happened, and I think I know why I allowed it. It's probably because I was mad at Tori for allowing things to happen, so I allowed for him to let things happen, I think, if I'm being honest. Because I think Tori is like a semester older than him, I believe. So, anyways, yeah, he did woohoo with Rebecca. He pretty much cheated on his girlfriend. Um, and he got a couple of scholarships. He actually got 4, and then he went to college. He had another dream date with Tori, and then there was a fire. So, yeah, he and Tori are still together, though they only have one chemistry bolt. So I don't know if they're actually gonna stay together. It was a good idea for them, but if they're cheating on each other, they might as well not commit to one another. So, I don't know what we're gonna do about that. But anyway, yep, that's Gregory. And then last but certainly not least, we got Liviana. And the first thing that you can see is right here, she wants to get engaged to Cornelian and she wants to become a Hall of Famer. So she actually wants to get engaged to Cornelian because their chemistry bolts are at a 2 and they are hot for each other. It was like steam at first sight. It was just, it was so spicy. So anyway, she really, really likes Cornelian. So while she was growing up in the Goth Manor, Jennifer and John did die while she was there. She learned anger management and saw a ghost. So she knows the Goth Manor is haunted. She learned about fire safety. And then she learned about lifelong happiness. And then, oh my gosh, Gunnar Goth died. Her uncle, I think. Yeah, I think it's her uncle. Yeah, yeah, because he's Mortimer and Dina's son. Yeah. So her uncle Gunnar died. As you could tell, his face is burnt to a crisp. But I will tell you more about that once we get to that household. But yeah, her uncle died, and that was a very tense, sad moment because I did not expect that to happen at all, you guys. I was disheartened. But then she got a job in the slacker career as a teenager. She kissed Raymond for the very first time. Her very first kiss was with Raymond. And then her Aunt Audrey died. So if you do or do not know, Audrey is the wife of Gunnar Goth. So, yeah, fun. Both her aunt and her uncle died. So she's just like, great. Like, that's, look, I was shocked when this happened as well. And I will tell you more about how they died once we get to the household. But man, that was a stressful time. Anyway, she actually reached the top of the slacker career while she was a teenager. She worked hard. And then her cat, Bella, died. So, yes, their cat in the Goth Manor had died before she went to college, which was so sad. Poor Bella. But anyway, and look, she's got a little memory of her uh, a niece, Cecilia. So she has a little niece now. So I can't wait to share more about her and whatnot. But she got 3 scholarships, moved out, and went to college herself. And then, of course, she made out with Cornelian, kissed him for the first time. The first kiss was a makeout session. Had her very first woohoo with Cornelian, and then fell in love with him. And now she's waiting for the moment where he pops the question. And let me see what his wants looks like. And it looks like he is thinking about her as well. So I am thinking that they are probably going to get engaged at the end of our junior year. That's the idea, I think. And I can't wait to see what their future looks like, considering they're both romance Sims. But, anyways, yeah, has been La Fiesta Tech, and let's move on to the next one. Welcome to Sim State University, where we have Evangeline Gavigan, Isabel Baroque, Sebastian Phillips, Toby Otimus, and Todd Otimus. So, funny enough, this is the household we will be playing in the next rotation when we come back to college. So, yeah, we get to play this household, and you get to see some of my Sims graduate. All 5 of these Sims are graduating together in the next one because they're all seniors right now. But anywho, yeah, let's start off with Evangeline Gavigan. So, all right, Evangeline, let's backtrack a little bit. Let's see where we're at. She went on a mountain vacation. So as you know, her brother is Gregory Gavigan. So she's gonna have the same uh memories of them going on vacation together. So, yeah, they went on a mountain vacation when she was a child. They had a great time and all that good stuff. And then they went on an island vacation where she actually mastered the fire dancing herself. So that's pretty neat. So she had fun with that. She actually learned couples counseling and got a couple scholarships and went to college. Now, the only thing that's really new about her is that she had her very first kiss with George. Out of all the people, she had her very first kiss with George. And that ticked me off so much because George is actually taken and Evangeline inserted herself where she didn't belong. So Evangeline was actually acting like Gabriella Newsom when she was younger, trying to kiss Alexander Goth in front of Lucy and having a big spiel. But the only difference between Alexander and George is that George allowed it for some reason. I don't know. Maybe they were juiced or something. I do not know. But anyway, yeah. So she kissed George, and George's already taken. And that annoyed me. But anyway, yeah, as you could tell, she is a family sim and she wants to find someone worthy to be with. And she found George and really wanted him, but George is taken by someone else. And the only reason why I did not allow this is because George has 3 bolts with this other person. And she only has 2. So I'm sorry, but the other girl won, Evangeline. I'm just saying. Anyway, and she should win because she's been his girlfriend ever since they were teenagers. So you're going to have to find someone else, Evangeline. I'm sorry, but you will. Anyway, that just annoyed the heck out of me. Okay, next we have Isabel Baroque, and Isabel is the daughter of Bo and Georgia. So yeah, Bo and Georgia, that's her mom and dad. Um, if you do or do not remember when she was a kid, she loved to sing, so she's a singer. That's all she likes to do is in her hobby and music and dance is to sing. So yeah, a little singer has grown up to be in college. Oh my gosh. But anyways, yeah, so let's go ahead and talk about what happened. So her grandma Brandy died when she was young, which makes total sense because Brandy was really, really old during that point. She had her very first kiss with Sebastian Phillips. So we kissed him for the first time, made out with him, and fell in love with him. And her and Sebastian have been together ever since. She maxed her creativity skill. As you could tell, she sang her way to the top of the skill. She learned couples counseling. And she won a couple of scholarships. And yeah, went to college shortly after that. Had her very first woohoo with Sebastian, and her and Sebastian have been together ever since while they are in college. So they only have 1 chemistry bolt together. She actually likes Mitch a little better than Sebastian, but I am going to keep these 2 together because I like them 2 together. That's just what I want. So sometimes what I want trumps what they want. But anyway, I had him grow up with her and whatnot. So hopefully they will want to be together and not pity patty around. And hopefully he doesn't find Freya more like so enduring that he would cheat on Isabel. I do not know. But anyway, this is Sebastian Phillips. He was a townie who got with Isabel when they were children or when they were teenagers. So for some reason he has the memory of Jane going to college. Why does he have the memory of Jane going to college? Interesting. Okay, so some of these Sims that are in the neighborhood are from this guy right here, John Smith Trickhue. And then we have these Sims. Very interesting. Why, I do not know. But anyways, apparently these Sims are under John Smith Trickhue. So we have Sebastian, Patrick, Jane, Lashonda, Calvin, and Kiyoshi. Interesting. Okay. And apparently he's going to have memories of these Sims. So it looks like they may have been adopted together. So that may be the case here. Very, 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 very interesting, I shall say. He had his very first kiss with Isabel, made out with her, fell in love with her. He has memories about Jane and whatnot. So technically, he's an uncle, technically. So maybe I should call up Jane in the Gavigan household and try to get him and her to be closer since, he's part of the rotations now. So, yeah. So, yeah, pretty interesting. Does he even know Jane or anybody in that household? I don't think he even knows them. Very interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, maybe they'll meet one day. Who knows? Anyway, let's go to Toby Artemis. So, Toby and Todd are from Tommy and Tasha. This is their children. They are twins. So, yeah, the game actually picked out their shirts and stuff. So I was just like, we'll keep it. Why not? Todd is a family sim, or Todd is a family sim, and Toby's a family sim. So they're both family sims. So let's see what we got here. So for Toby here, Charlotte and David died during the plague. So we know that much. He also went on a mountain vacation. So back in the day, they actually were broke. Their family was broke, and his parents really wanted to take them out on vacation. So they borrowed money from their Uncle Billy or Uncle Ryan. I can't remember which one of the twins, but they borrowed 10,000 simoleons from their uncle. And they were able to go on vacation with all their siblings, which is really, really nice. So they did that. He actually met Destiny Newson, kissed her for the first time, made out with her, and then fell in love, wooed, and actually went steady with Destiny. And Destiny is just a little bit younger than Toby, but she is on her way to college next semester. So she'll be here with Toby, when before he actually graduates. So they will share the last semester together, which is nice. He learned about fire safety, learned about anger management, got a couple of scholarships, went to college, and now he's here waiting on Destiny here to grow up and come to college with him. So that's where Toby is at. And yeah, I believe he and Destiny have two chemistry bolts back in the day. I had two chemistry bolts when he was a teenager, so I'm assuming he and her are going to be in love together since he is a family sim. So I'm excited to pair them two up. Here we have Todd Artemis. Now, as you can tell, Todd used to be polished as a teenager. Now he grew his hair out, and it looks like he's gaining some weight here from his stance. So let's take a look. Yeah, he's about to become middle instead of fit. So that's completely okay. Anyways, Todd is actually gay. Whether you knew that or not, he actually is. So finding somebody for him is actually quite difficult because you got to find somebody else who is into boys as well at his age. So, and he's also a family sim. So we'll see if he'll be able to find somebody worth worth being with. But anyways, he lost a couple of family members to the plague. He went on a mountain vacation with his family. Let's see what else. Yeah, a bunch of things happened within his family here. And then he went to college and now he's here. So really, nothing really big has happened with Todd yet. He's still trying to find somebody. I wonder if he has a crush on anybody. Yeah, he doesn't have a crush on nobody. Here in college. Hmm. I wonder. I wonder what we could do with you, Todd, because I really want you to find somebody. And you haven't found anybody. And considering you're a family sim, you should find somebody. But anyways, he's really good friends with Evangeline, and Evangeline is also a family sim. I wonder if I have him check her out, if he will do what his cousin did and switch. Well, I'm wondering, like, maybe it's because he thought he was, and then he saw Evangeline, and maybe he's not anymore. I don't know. Maybe he'll like Evangeline because they're really close already. They're really close friends. So, and they are both family sims. So I think that would be a match made in heaven. But we will probably play around with that once we play this household again. But anywho, yep, this has been Sim State University. Now let's go back to Pleasantview and see the first household. Welcome to the Broke household, where we have Dustin Broke, Allie Broke, Sylvia Broke, and their dog Pawson. So here we are. So let's actually talk about what we got here. So Dustin Broke is near the end of his life. Yeah. And for some reason he wants to have another baby, but that is not gonna happen because you and Allie are now elders and you're done having kids. You had plenty in your lifetime, Dustin. We ain't doing this. But anyway, let's talk about what has happened with Dustin since then. So, as you know, he had his babies and he's been living the life. He died and came back from the plague. He learned about anger management, fire safety. He learned about couples counseling. Then his mother died and he got some money from that. And then he completed his very first lifetime wish was graduate 3 children from college. And how that happened, I do not know because Derek is his eldest. So when Derek graduated, he got this memory done for some reason. And that made no sense. But I mean, technically it will be the truth for Dustin. Because, all his kids are in college and Freya is about to graduate as well. And let's see. I can't think of all the children. Yeah. Yeah, Derek graduated, Hazel graduated, and Freya is about to graduate. So he's going to get that completed anyway. So I'm not even going to stress. But anyways, he got his lifetime wish of children graduating. And then he has a new grandchild named Emma. So, yes, you may or may not know his son, Derek, is now a full fledged adult. And he recently had a baby girl named Emma with his girlfriend, Katie Curtin. So, yeah, he is a grandpa and he's very excited about being a grandpa. So, I think that is super, super sweet. And yeah, he's just very proud of his family and very, very happy old man. Like he's over the moon. And he wants to graduate 3 children from college again. So it's probably going to happen to him again. So congratulations, Dustin. You are going to be super, super happy. And then we have Allie Broke, his wife. So yeah, they're both elders now. And the same with her. She, saved Dustin from the Grim Reaper, reached the top of her cooking skill, earned 25,000 simoleons, learned about fire safety, couples counseling. She maxed the body skill, got demoted, and yeah, it looks like she's gonna get another promotion. when she goes back to work tonight. So that's going to be great. She is currently at level 5 of the paranormal career. So she's working hard on that. And for some reason, she wants to be friends with Dove Peterson. So we'll save that so that she could try to be friends with Dove. And their youngest daughter, who is sleeping with her eyes open, is Sylvia Broke. So Sylvia is now a teenager. She's no longer a child. She currently wants to get a job in the slacker career, but I'm not going to do that because she's about to go to college as soon as she wakes up in the morning. So she's ready to go. And so yeah. About Sylvia here. Let's see. She had her very first kiss with Cornelian, and then her grandpa Chester died. Grandpa Chester. That's not her grandpa. Why do you have a memory about Chester? Who is Chester to you again? I'm confused. How did was she friends with Chester? She might have been friends with him. I am not sure why you got that one. I don't know. Bethany is the daughter of the Burbs, I believe. I don't know. I'm confused about that one. But anyway, yeah. She has a memory about Chester dying. That's not her grandpa, by the way. Not her grandpa. Because her grandparents is Brandy and Skip Broke. So I don't I don't know. I don't know. I'm stumped. Anyway, she went on a date with Cornelia, made out with him, had a dream date with him, fell in love with him, snuck out with him, learned about lifelong happiness, learned about sociology, had her very first woohoo with Cornelian, which was a public woohoo. She maxed her body skill because of learning this. She did woohoo with Cornelian again and learned a couple of local greetings, won a couple of scholarships, and now she's ready to go to college herself. So, yeah, this is where we are in the Broke household. Now, let's move on to the next one. Okay, welcome to the Broke household where we have Bo Broke and Georgia Broke. And as you can quite possibly tell, I upgraded their place. It looks a lot different, a lot fancier. Yeah, I really just wanted them to have a more fancier look to the place, mostly because he reached the top of his career and they're making bank. They had plenty of money to do so. So I made sure they had plenty of room in their home. But anyway, yeah, so this is where their daughter's bedroom used to be, and this is where their daughter's bedroom is now, where she's going to share it with Sebastian once they move back home here. So this is Isabel and Sebastian's future home when they graduate college. Anywho, yeah, starting with Bo Broke. Let's see. For Bo, let's see. We had Isabel. He maxed his charisma skill. He taught her how to study. He reached the top of his platinum. And he actually finally got married to Georgia after all these years. So finally he and Georgia got married. And I figured they've been together for so long, they might as well just go ahead and get married to one another. I mean, hell, they're living like married couple anyway, so they might as well just go ahead and get married. And I made that decision myself because neither one of them wanted to cheat on each other or anything. And yeah, so yeah, they actually got married, so that's wonderful. He's been getting promotion after promotion up until he reached the top of the entertainment career. So yes, a pleasure sim actually reached the top of entertainment career, and he makes 3,105 simoleons from that. So he has done exceptionally well in his career, so much so he's earned 50K from it all. Then his mom, Brandy, died. He maxed the body, the creativity skill. He had a little fire. He maxed the cleaning skill. And I believe this fire was from a lightning strike on the tree or something. Then he maxed the cooking skill. He won a fight with the social bunny. At some point, he felt a little bit lonely, mostly because his daughter was a teenager and everybody was doing their own little thing, and he's been working so hard in his career, making money and stuff. He had this little moment of him being lonely. So yes, the social buddy did come and visit him, and he won a fight with the social bunny, which was hilarious. But yeah, that happened in his life, and I think he had that type of reaction after his mom died. So yeah, he's like, I'm trying to like, I can't call my mom, so he felt a certain way at that point, is what I'm thinking. He felt a certain way because his mom is no longer there anymore. So yeah. Well, anyway, after that has happened, he inherited money from Jason. So yeah, Jason actually died around this time as well when the social bunny came and visited him. So yeah, he lost his real dad, his mom, and his stepdad. So yeah. Oh, and now he's an elder too. So so yeah, all the broke children are pretty much elders at this point. He learned a greeting. He got sprayed by a skunk. He decided it was a good idea to go out there and pet a skunk for some reason and got sprayed. And then he maxed the logic skill. He maxed the mechanical skill. And this dude maxed all of his skills. And I think Bo is the very first sim that actually maxed every single one of his skills. If I'm being honest, he is the only one. So he reached the top of his career. He maxed all of his skills. He is in platinum for the rest of his life. Like, this man is very intelligent, and like he learned a lot. Very intelligent, very successful, and yeah, I mean, nobody can get put a sly one on this man, because his man knows up, down, left, right. Super smart. Knows everything about everything up to this point. And yeah, so this is Bo, and he's currently playing on this thing. And I believe that is his hobby, is playing. Yeah, is playing on this thing right here. So he's just enjoying his hobby now. He's just here enjoying it. He's got nothing else better to do at this point. Now, as for Georgia, she actually wants to go on a vacation. I'm actually going to save that because I think that would be nice for them to be able to go on vacation. Maybe take their daughter and her boyfriend with them. I think if you know him, maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'm not entirely sure on that. But anyways, yeah, we'll go ahead and save that and maybe try to go on vacation with everybody and have a good time out and about. But anyway, so Georgia here. Let's see what we have here. Um, let's see. She has a bunch of memories of her family aging up. She learned a new greeting. She got married to Bo finally. And her and Bo have been dating nonstop throughout their adult life. So that's crazy. They've had plenty of family reunions. So it's really nice that her and her family still have these family reunions, because when they were children, when their children were children, they come outside and played a lot together. So that's pretty nice. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. She's a secondary grilled cheese, so we got a couple of grilled cheeses in her stuff here. She inherited money from Brandy, so Brandy liked Georgia, and she was pretty close with Brandy as well. She has a bunch of memories of her family aging up. A burglar came at some point. Um, Her family is doing great, graduating from college and doing things like that. I mean, like, she's very proud of everyone in her family, and she has a lot of memories because of her family. So, yep, this is the broke household, and let's move on to the next household. Welcome to the broke household, where we have Derek Broke, his girlfriend Katie Curtin, and their daughter Emma Broke. So, yeah, this is where they live. They live in this household. And let's continue on with this, shall we? So, anywho, yeah, let's go ahead and backtrack and see where we're at here. Okay, so Okay. So, yeah. When he was a teenager, I had the idea of him and Celestia being together because I think it's so funny because his mom is Dina Caliente, and she's a descendant of aliens, and I thought it would be really cool for him and Celestia to be together, even though he's a romance sim. But I thought it would have been cool if that would have happened, but alas it didn't happen that way because he kept going back and forth through being attracted to her to not being attracted to her, and I don't know what was going on with Derek up at that point, but he does have this want to woohoo with 20 different sims. So I am assuming that he and Katie Curtin are not going to be faithful to one another, if I'm being frank and honest. But anyways, yeah, he had his first date with Katie, kissed her, made out with her, went on a dream date with her. He actually liked Katie. You know what I'm saying? He really, really liked Katie. Uh, Brandy died when he was a teenager. He learned about lifelong happiness. He fell in love with Katie, went on another dream date with her. His um I think Gunner at this point is his brother. Yeah, Gunner is his brother. So his brother Gunner died. It's really hard to remember how everybody's related to everybody, but his brother Gunner died, and then he went to college, and then had his very first woohoo with Katie into college. So believe it or not, he kept it in his pants all the way up until college point when he went with Katie. Had a dream date with her, dream date with her, dream date with her, dream date with her. They've been going on dream dates a lot in college. Played a junior year, and then his aunt Nina died while he was in college. So Nina passed away, and he graduated, moved out, and moved into this household with Katie. They moved in together. He got a job in the slacker career, maxed his logic skill point, did a public woohoo with Katie. Had a dream date, had a dream date, had a dream date, got promoted, got promoted, earned 5,000 simoleons, and then they had Emma. Now, they didn't try for a baby or anything. This was ACR completely. And as you can tell, they went on so many dream dates. They've been woohooing a lot anyway. So, yeah, that happened, and they had their daughter Emma, and I can't wait to figure out what she looks like. She's so cute in this picture. I love it. Anyway, yeah, so he learned a local greeting, and then he actually fell in love with Celestia. So I am thinking that, yeah, look, he's got two bolts with Celestia. He thinks Katie is prettier, and that's why Katie is here, because she triumphed over Celestia. But yeah, he still finds Celestia attractive, and I think a little woohoo sesh is going to happen between him and Celestia. I think they are kind of like connected in a way to where he just can't let her go because it's like ET. You know what I'm saying? Like out of this world type of woohoo. He's very interested. So he fell back in love with Celestia. So I'm assuming they either flirted with each other or kissed each other. I'm not exactly sure what happened to make him fall back in love with her. But yeah, he did fall back in love with Celestia, learned two more local greetings, and his little sister graduated college. So yeah, I'm excited to see how this goes for Derek. And I know Emma is a beautiful, beautiful little baby. I know she's gonna be exquisitely stunning. He currently wants to be friends with Michelle, and I think it's because she is his coworker. Excuse me. So yeah, that's where we're at with him. And here we are with Katie Curtin. And as you can quite possibly tell, she is also a dun 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 dun, dun romance sim. But she has three bolts with Derek. She's very, very attracted to Derek. So as you can tell, that's why she's here instead of Celestia. But she had her very first kiss with Isaiah, it looks like. Made out and fell in love with Isaiah. Um, she funny thing about Katie Curtin, she actually I don't know. I think because Zaya was a romance sim and she was one of the townies, that's why they kissed and fell in love and all that stuff when she was a teenager. Which it doesn't make sense because Isaiah's because she's really young and Isaiah's really old. So I'm gonna ignore that because she was one of the townies when he was just kissing everybody back in his youth. But anyway, so the funny thing about this is that Katie Curtin was actually a bisexual. So she actually went out on her first date with Donatella Goth. And as you know, Donatella was also a bisexual. And she kissed Donatella for the first time during this dream date with her. So she had fun with Donatella and all that good stuff. And then she went on her first date with Derek and kissed him, made out with him, had a dream date, fell in love with him, and then went to college, had her very first woohoo with Derek. So these two's first woohoo is with each other. So that is something, should I say. Um, yeah. And then she graduated college, had a public woohoo with Derek, learned about lifelong happiness. She's part of the slacker career, had Emma, and learned to greetings. So, yeah, she currently thinks Noah is really attractive as well. She thinks this guy River's very attractive. Like she thinks Casper's very attractive. Vince, she has a lot of guys that she thinks is super attractive. She even thinks this Count Jerry Zhang is kind of attractive. So this vampire. But anyway, yeah, yep. This is Katie Curtin, his girlfriend, who Derek's with. I can't wait to see what she looks like. I wonder if she's gonna look like her mom or her dad. I don't know, but I think they both have unique features, and I think Emma's gonna be so cute. I just love babies. And she's a little blonde too, so this is gonna be so cool. Anyways, this has been the Broke household, and let's move on to the next household. Alrighty, welcome to the Burb household, where we have Edwin Burb, Haley Burb, and their daughter Alice Burb. So now, speaking of very successful people, these two, Edwin and Haley, are very successful people. Might I add, this is very fancy. Granted, Jennifer had it be fancy before he moved in, and I just kept the same aesthetic because there's no other house like this anywhere in Pleasantview because I decorated it the way I wanted. But anyways, yeah, so yeah, it's very, very fancy. This house is, I should say. And, this has changed significantly. There used to be like a little garden for John to garden his stuff, but now that's gone. And we have a little carport now and a pool outside to the side here. So we have that now instead of a garden thing. But we also have room on this side for a nice backyard area for the children if they want to come outside and play. So we might actually get a couple of things for that. But anyways, over here to Edwin. Edwin has graduated college now. So I believe the last time you saw Edwin, he was in college and getting to know his nieces and nephews over there at the Geek household. So, yep, this is Edwin as an adult now. So yeah, let's actually jump right into his life here. So, anyway, let's actually go ahead. He actually met Haley when they were teenagers. So, uh, he fell in love with Haley. He kissed Haley for the very first time. And then he learned sociology. He actually reached max enthusiasm in tinkering because his hobby is actually playing with these toys over here. This is his hobby in tinkering, believe it or not. So he has 3 of those to play around with. But yeah, that's all he did in his youth for fun is play with these things. He fell in love with Haley, had his very first woohoo with Haley, and then Angela died from the plague, as you know. And then his mom died. He inherited money. He moved out. So his mom died before he actually went to college. And yeah, so he actually made it to move out before his dad died. And then his dad died after he moved out. So while he was in limbo on his way to college, both of his parents uh died from old age. And I believe his dad, John, died outside right here. So, yeah, he was out in nature when John died. Very poetic because he was a nature sim. Anyway, he inherited money from both of his parents. He maxed the body skill, earned 5,000, and then he got engaged to Haley in their sophomore year. So he knew Haley was the one. He just doesn't want anybody else. He just loves Haley. He made out with Haley and learned anger management, and then he actually graduated with honors summa cum laude. So he was at the very tip top of his class. He worked really, really hard in his studies and reached the very top of it. So I'm super proud of him for that. He moved out and got married to Haley. They knew they wanted to be together, so he married Haley. Maxologic skill. He got his lifetime platinum aspiration already, and he's very young in his life, so he is already in platinum. Oh my gosh, very young. He maxed his mechanical skill. And then his sister Audrey died, unfortunately. So he was mourning his sister and all that. He maxed his creativity skill here in 25,000 simoleons. And then he had his daughter, Alice, who was over here sleeping. She's so cute. But, anyways, we have little Alice. And the theme about, okay, this is funny, kind of. The theme about me naming these babies, because his name is Edwin, I really wanted to name her Alice. I was in a Twilight mood. I don't know why, but I really just wanted to keep that theme going. So if you may or may not know, the theme of this might be Twilight themed. I might name the next one Rosa or something a little bit like that. But anyways, yeah, so I say the next one like she is pregnant. Let me see. Is she pregnant at all? No, she's not. Okay. Well, anyways, yeah, her name is Alice. So for some reason, I just wanted to do that. But anyway, we maxed the cleaning skill, got a promotion, and he became a game designer. So he is actually level 10 of the gamer career. So good on him. Good on him. Proud of him. He learned parenting. He actually got a big bonus at work. So that's why we have a lot of money. We're able to upgrade this house if we wanted to. I thought about making it an upstairs so that we could have a lot more room and all that good stuff. So I'm still thinking on it, but we shall see what happens with that. I don't know yet. It really depends on if they have a lot of children or if Alice is it. I mean, Alice could possibly be it, and we have 2 empty rooms right here. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, uh yeah. Yeah, so he's just like enjoying his family life. He's a very successful man. It looks like Edwin might actually be the second sim who maxes all their skills as well, because he has 2 skills to max and he's done. And right now, what does he want to do? He wants to gain a skill point. So he will probably start studying his charisma and start working up on that. So, yeah, Edwin, very successful man at a very young age, and that is amazing, because sometimes for my sims it takes such a long time for them to become this successful, and for him, he worked so hard that he was reached the top of his class in college, and now he reached the top of his career, and he still has 20 days left of his life. So he worked really hard for his family. I mean, I believe his mother would be proud, like crying proud, because his mother was a fortune sim. So she would look at him and be like, wow, my son is amazing. Amazing. Anyway, his wife is Haley, and she is also a knowledge sim. So this is like a match made in heaven. So she kissed Edwin for the first time, fell in love with him, had his very first woohoo. And for some reason, hers is red. I don't think she knew if she wanted to be with him, because he's the only one that she's ever known. But I'm unsure of why it was in the red. Maybe she was nervous. Maybe, I don't know, maybe she thought like yeah, she has a higher bolt with Chuck here, but I don't know, maybe she was having doubts because she found other men more attractive than her husband or her fiance at this point. So I'm guessing that's why that it was red. But anyways, she made out with Edwin and moved out and moved in with Edwin here in this house. And during their wedding party, it was green. So I think she got over her doubts, feelings, and was very happy to be married to Edwin. And as you can tell, she didn't cheat on him at all. She's not a cheater. She's actually quite happy in their relationship together. But she is actually employed in the science career, as you can quite possibly tell. So she got promoted, demoted. She went on dates with her husband, earned 10,000 simoleons. And then she had her daughter, Alice. She reached the top of the cooking career and learned two of these local greetings. And she's currently level 5 in the science career. So, as you can quite possibly tell, she's only level 5, he's level 10. So, she's a little bit behind, but it looks like she ain't going to have any problems maxing her career as well, as long as they don't have babies after babies after babies. I don't know if they're going to have more than one. It's a toss up. It really depends on ACR at this point. Unless she is a secondary family. No, she's a secondary pleasure sim, and he is a secondary popularity sim. So yeah, it's all up in the air for ACR for them to have a baby, but luckily they have little Alice here. So luckily they do have a daughter together. And ACR came in clutch and gave them a daughter. So here she is, and I believe she is super, super cute. I can't wait to see what she really looks like when she grows up. But anywho, yeah, she knows her Aunt Bethany and her mom and her dad. That's all she knows. But she did learn how to walk from Edwin, and yeah, and just has memories of her family doing well in their life. So, yep, little Alice is still a little too young to know uh who she is and what she wants in her life. So, but we do know that she is a Virgo though, and that will make her what exactly in the future? That would make her a knowledge sim just like her parents. So she is just like her parents. She's a knowledge sim. So that is going to be so cute. I cannot wait to see what her future holds. But anywho, yep, this is the Burb household, and let's move on to the next household. Okay, welcome to the Cooke household, where we have Sophie Roseland, Joel Cooke, and their son Jace Cooke, and their dog Jesse Critter. So, anywho, yeah, so here we are, and let's get to it. Let's start with Sophie here. Sophie, um, let's get to it. Let's go ahead and scroll down and see what happened here. Okay, so Sophie was a big woman on campus in college. She actually caught Bodie cheating, lost a fight with Marielle in college and all that stuff, and then she graduated. So we all knew about this whole debacle between her not being able to choose between Bodie and Joel. But yeah, she finally graduated college. She went on tour. It looks like she went on a mountain vacation after she graduated. And then her mom, Kaylin, passed away. So I think this was her last vacation with her mom before she passed away, if I'm not mistaken. She inherited money from Kaylin. She moved out. She got a job in the politics career. So, yep, she's currently a politician, which I find is quite interesting because she's going to have to choose a side in the politics career. And she is notorious for not being able to choose. I believe she may be an overthinker, if I'm being honest. Anyway, she got demoted, probably because she cannot make up her mind. And then she got promoted again and promoted. She earned 5,000 simoleons. Then Jody and Julian died while she was living here with them. and waiting on Joel to graduate college so they can be together. She got caught cheating by Bodie, and yeah, her and Bodie's relationship just went down into the toilet after that. She's just like, meh, I don't want to be with Bodie anymore. I think I chose Joel now because Joel has never cheated on me, and yeah, he's the one. So that is Sophie in a nutshell. Anyways, she adopted Jesse. I believe Joel's the one that adopted Jesse here, and they have a dog together. She got another promotion in her career. She's happy about her family getting engaged and whatnot. Her youngest sister, the baby of the family, graduated college, so she's very happy about that. And then she earned 10,000 simoleons and then had Jace cook. So Jace is just a little bitty baby. Look at him. He's so cute. And as you may or may not know, in this household, I have my babies start with the letter J because, Jody and Julian started with J. So anyway, I wanted to keep it going even though her name starts with a S. But yeah, this is Jace Cook. And it looks like the Cook name is going to continue on, so that's going to be nice. So they had their son. She maxed her cooking skill point. Her secondary aspiration is grilled cheese, as you can quite possibly tell here. Wonderful. And she's just happy about her family doing great in their life. So she doesn't really have any other wants other than grilled cheese and praising Jesse and yeah, pretty much just living here, being here, not really wanting to do much other than things that I don't really want to do. Anyway, moving on to Joel Cook. Joel, let's see here. He went on an island vacation in his youth, had his very first kiss. We know that he was with her. He maxed his career as a teenager, and it was science. He had his very first woohoo with Sophie. He went steady with Sophie. He learned sociology, maxed his body skill because of that, because his hobby is actually playing soccer. So there's that. He actually moved out. He went to college. He inherited money from Brandy. So I guess he and Brandy were kind of friends. Not exactly sure about why he inherited money from Brandy. But while he was gone at college, he was in his senior year. Jody and Julian died while he was in his senior year. So that's quite sad. Inherited money from both of his parents, and then he graduated college. So he was so close to coming home to his parents before they actually passed away. So quite sad. He actually got a job in the military career. That's what he wanted. So yep, that's what he had. Then he, adopted Jesse. He got a promotion after promotion after promotion. He actually reached lifetime platinum aspiration as well. So in his young life, he also reached lifetime platinum. So Joel is actually quite happy with Sophie. And I'm surprised he didn't even learn about Sophie's indecision yet. I'm surprised that Bodie didn't spill the beans or anything like that from being bitter. I'm really surprised that he doesn't know anything about Sophie's indecision while they were separated for a short time while he was in college. Anyway, then Jason died, and are you related to Jason? Oh yeah, Jason is his uncle. Yeah, Jason is his uncle. So his uncle died shortly after he reached his lifetime platinum as an adult. So yeah, he was really sad to see his uncle die. His uncle die. So he maxed his mechanical skill point. He actually reached the top of the military career, maxed his creativity skill point, and he had Jace. So he now has a son, and he got a demotion, and now he's trying to get another promotion. And they are wanting to go on a Far East vacation, and it looks like this weekend. I think I'm gonna wait for Jace to actually age up a little bit before we go on this vacation, so Jace can actually go to the Far East vacation as well. So, will he ever get married to Sophie? I am not exactly sure on that, though. I really don't know. I'm still bitter about Sophie's indecision because I had big hopes for Joel here to, be happy because he was one of my favorite Sims up until this point. And now I don't know what they're gonna do, if they're gonna stay together or not. That is up in the air up at this point because Sophie here can't make up her mind or couldn't make up her mind. But yeah, as you could tell, her and Bodhi's relationship went down in the toilet, so that's pretty good. Anyway, this has been the Cooke household, and let's move on to the next household.